Here's the secret to dealing with rude women. You don't. Welcome to Harry Dating Conversations. I'm your coach as always, Harry Wilmington, and today we're going to be talking about how you deal with rude women. Now, if you saw in the intro, my answer is clearly that you don't, but I really want to delve deeper into that because, a lot of you guys watch my channel, and over the years, people ask me questions about how to interact with women, how to get in their good graces, how to come across as a guy that they're going to want to talk to. And so I provide you guys with a lot of tips and strategies that I've used, ideally to get with women that actually would work in your life and that you can create a genuine relationship with. More importantly, I'm helping you with tips for women that you actually could match with, but if you do the wrong things, you can chase even women that would like you and work out long-term away. And so I hope that my tips up to this point on this channel have been helpful with that, have been able to help you be less anxious and more confident and be able to deal with women in a real way that gets you real results. But I do want to highlight a couple of criticisms I've gotten. From time to time, I'll have guys say things like, well, you're just justifying women's actions. And so sometimes women can be a-holes and you're saying that they should be able to do whatever they want and this and that. And I never want you guys to get any mixed messages from me about that. So allow me to clarify my position. As always, this show is brought to you by Get Girls Academy, my exclusive program designed to help you attract, date, and keep the women you want. As a member, you'll gain access to proven strategies, insider tips, and bi-monthly group coaching sessions where we tackle your biggest questions live. Click the link in the description to learn more and join today. So, as a guy that used to be a horrible dater, there were definitely times in my life where I came across women that also showed an initial interest in me. They were kind, they were well-to-do, and they wanted to, build some kind of rapport with me. It's just that because I didn't know the ins and outs of how female attraction worked, I ended up ruining those things. Maybe I was there too much. Maybe I was calling too much. Maybe I was talking too much about my feelings early on and not at the time realizing the repercussions for that, But overall, the women that I would try to approach and get with were people that if it weren't for me not doing the right things, we could have possibly worked out, But what I've never ever tolerated in my dating life is when I'm trying to talk to a woman or approach her or get in a conversation with her and she starts being rude, Because sometimes I'll have guys say, well, if I go out there and a woman says something mean to me or does this thing, like, how do I bypass that? How do I get her to stop being that way and to, say a thing or do an action that's going to get her to be nicer to me or in my good graces? And my honest answer to that is, why would you deal with that? Why would you deal with a woman that when you first approach her is already calling you names, is already saying no to you, is already trying to make fun of you or play you in front of other people? Like, why would you do that? Why would you go on a date with a girl, for example, and she's being rude to servers and she's being sarcastic to you the entire time and downplaying like things that you want to do for her? Like, why would you continue to stay in that situation? And so I'm not a guy that wants to deal with that long term. I grew up in an environment where I saw a lot of positive relationships, and the relationships that worked out were at least the ones that I saw were with guys who got with women that treated them with respect. But rarely have I seen it happen where a woman that started off rude ended up getting nicer later. More often than not, how she is when you met her is going to be how she is later. So a woman that's overly sarcastic, a woman that's talking down about her family members or talking down about plans that you've made for her, those women don't get any better. But again, I can understand why for men watching this channel, there could be confusion. And so I want to dispel that. So when I give you guys tips, I'm going in with the thought that you're meeting up with women that if it weren't for you doing a few things here and there that turn women off, these women would actually stay interested. How do I know that? Well, for example, I have guys write me all the time that say, hey, when I first met a woman, things are going great, and we were texting back and forth a lot, and then we met in person, and we had really good vibe going on the date, and she seemed to like me, and then I just kept texting her, I just kept calling her, I kept trying to see her every day, and now she's lost interest. That is not a woman that was rude to him in the beginning or had low interest. That's a woman that started off with high interest, and then because a guy came forward and did some stuff that he didn't know was going to turn her off, started to lose interest, okay? So my tips are designed to help prevent that, because I don't want you going into conversations with women or going into new places where you're meeting new women and doing things that could turn them off when initially they were potentially possibly interested. And a lot of guys are unaware that some of the things they say or do could potentially make a woman that was interested get turned off, all right? But those women are not women that are coming to you and being insulting out the gate or embarrassing you in front of other people. I would never tell you, hey, if a woman's set to embarrass you or she is sarcastic to you in this way, here's how to, neg hit her and turn her around. Some guys are great at that. Some guys can go out there and a woman will be trash talking to him, and then by the end of the night, he somehow turned her around, and that's fantastic. But I always think, but why would I want a woman like that in the first place? Like a woman that's already apprehensive about any guys approaching her and is going to try to attack that by being rude out the gate versus giving the guy a chance to talk. Maybe seeing if over the course of the night, he's actually a dude that she could be further interested in. Like women that aren't giving the benefit of the doubt or have excessive trauma from a lifetime of baggage, and some of that could have been caused by previous men, could have been caused by family members. I don't know. I don't care. I'm too old to want to deal with figuring out why this woman's being rude to me and then putting some game on her in order to get her into my good graces. I have the understanding at this age that, yes, guys, believe it or not, there are actually women out there that have great attitudes and that will actually be willing to be open to a conversation, even if they don't know you, to give you a potential shot. I know if you look at the internet, that shot is getting shorter and shorter. And that's actually part of the reason why I think a lot of guys are so accepting of women's rude behavior and are trying to do things to remedy it so she'll be a nicer person. Because we feel as though we have limited options. And so any girl that's rude to us, she might be the last option we have. And so even if it seems like she's being tumultuous with us, well, we got to try to make it work. And we got to try to do things or say things in order to make this particular girl happen. And that's what happens when you have a scarcity mindset in dating, is that you're going for low-hanging fruit and you're going to take whoever and try to turn them into somebody great. You cannot take extremely rude women or women that are just bad people and just magically turn them into good people simply because you can lay it down in the sack and you're going to be nice to them. The reality is, as the tips that I give you are going to be immensely beneficial to you, especially with women that have their heads on straight and have a general overall disposition of thinking that most guys out there are going to be trying to do the right thing, Even if they come across guys that aren't all that nice, they still have the thought of, but there is a guy out there that will treat me right. I just have to find them. That's the same mindset that I had as I was dating more and more. Early on, I was having bad experiences and thinking, oh, all girls are toxic and they're the devil and this and that. And I had to realize maybe it's the women I'm coming across, and maybe it's just I haven't exposed myself to enough women, but I'm not going to walk out there being bitter towards women because that's going to project off of me and then they're going to feel that energy and they're not going to like me. So I just learned what I needed to do so that way when I came across women that actually would work out with me, that I knew how to keep them around. So it wasn't about trying to change a rude girl into a nice girl. It was about finding women that were already relatively nice and then knowing how not to screw that up. And that's what I want you guys to use my advice for. But I'm not trying to advocate for you to use my advice on rude women, because even though you may flip them nice temporarily, in the long term, this is how they've been up to this point, and chances are you're not going to change them. So don't think that you need to be accepting of rude women or of rude behavior. And hey, even women that are nice will sometimes occasionally early on test you a bit to see what they can get away with, and they want you to nip that in the bud. So whether you come across a woman that is ultimately rude or a woman that is nice overall, but is trying to test you, you should not be accepting rudeness of any kind. Now, if you're dating a woman that's been mostly nice, and then she puts out something that makes her look like she's a little rude or is nag hitting or whatever, this is your test to nip that in the bud. But that's women that you've already started dating that may start to show out a little bit in an attempt to test you. Women that are coming to you from day one and being rude and talking down on you, you could try to pass that test, but I just found it's not worth it, because while she's being rude to me, there's like 4 or 5 other girls over here I could be talking to that at the very least would have a nice disposition when they're getting to know me and talk to me and go on dates with me, And so I just wanted to put that out there. I don't want you guys to confuse me giving you advice on how to be better with women with, use this also on rude women to get them. I have found in the long run, most of those rude women are just not worth it. Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Harry Dating Convos. Don't forget to visit HarryWilmington.com to download my free ebook, Texting Women Like a Boss. And while you're there, if you're ready to take things to the next level with your dating life, check out the Get Girls Academy membership program for exclusive strategies and live coaching. Go to HarryWilmington.com to learn more and join today. Lastly, if you've got a question you'd like answered on one of these shows, leave a comment below or write me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.